Hi, this is Michael from the Easy Path Project. And once again, we've got a really good topic tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, do you want to feel better about yourself instantly? Over the last few nights, we've been discussing the TEPP philosophy and then the idea behind it, where each of the steps that you take to improve yourself, for better lack of a better word, but each step that you take, it works on multiple different levels. It doesn't just work on one thing, it works on others. And so it's a force multiplier. It's actually what I call the theory of exponential growth. And you can actually go back to watch the live stream I did last night, and I talked about that at great length. Tonight, like I said, what we're going to be talking about is how you can make yourself feel better instantly. One of the things that's a real big problem with people in general is that our internal voice, or what we say to ourselves, sometimes is not constructive. It's like we pick something up along the way that might not be true or might not be accurate, or might be too much, and yet your brain has applied it to your situation, and so you think that things might actually be worse than they are, simply because of the way that you frame it. One of the things that we're going to talk about in the future, fairly near future, is going to be a discussion about the lens that you see the world through, and how you have developed that lens, how you've taken it from when you were born until this point, and all of the things that have gone on in your life. And you've taken all of these lessons that you've learned, or things that you've picked up along the way, and you just stack them one on top of the other, and it kind of keeps you from displaying who you really are. It's like you've got all of these sort of confusing ideas going on, and it really obscures the reality of the situation and what you are really dealing with. You're dealing with incorrect assumptions about a lot of things. And one of the ideas behind this is that once you start eliminating these incorrect assumptions or assertions about yourself, like the things that you say negatively about yourself or to yourself, once you start eliminating those things, like you can actually find yourself waking up each and every day feeling truly good about who you are, because you're not beating yourself up all the time anymore. It's like first of all, there's no reason to do that, period, but that you're doing it. Well, let's stop. Let's take the little teeny tiny steps that it's going to require, and just get rid of that. One of the benefits that's going to come from this is that because at this point, like once you've eliminated these incorrect assumptions and assertions, you'll find that that you're more honest. Like the real you starts to show through. So you start to feel more genuine and less pressured, less effort is required to go about your day, because you're not having to deal with all of these additional pressures that you're putting on yourself. You just like eliminated them. And what's really, really cool about this is the fact that it's a very simple habit. I mean, just the idea of pulling back, applying these simple shifts. Well, I'll get into it, and so you'll understand what we're talking about. But I called this video tonight, this live stream, Easy Inner Game Wins Part 1. I've actually got a list here of 20 20 inner game tips, things that are going to improve your inner game with relatively little effort. And so I'm going to go through numbers 1 through 10 tonight. And you'll really start to see how easy this is and how you can start to apply it. And once you start to apply it, you should start to see improvement in your life and the way that you feel about yourself relatively quickly. Doop-a-doo. Okay, like I mentioned, this is a live stream. And at this point, I'm trying to do them each and every weeknight. And about around 7:30 p.m. Central. Tonight, I actually had a situation where the audio crapped out on me, so I'm about an hour late getting started. But 7:30 is the idea. And in the event that you are wanting to watch the live streams, but you do not catch it live, I have a playlist of the live streams. And so you can watch the replay there. The whole list of each and every one of my live streams will be on this playlist. So like I said, these are very simple things. Like if you were expecting some elaborate tasks that you have to perform, or something that requires a ton of discipline or work or effort, now that's not going to happen. Not here. Probably you'll probably never find anything that's that particularly difficult here, because this is indeed the easy path project. We try to do everything the simplest, easiest, most comfortable way possible. Like it just, I mean, that's how we're going to do it. So the very first thing that I've got here, this note, is that you speak to yourself positively. It's like, for whether, you talk to yourself, he's like, oh, I'm fat, or I'm stupid, or I'm anything, like any pejorative thing that you might say to yourself. Ditch that stuff. It's like, it's not helpful. It's not true. It's like there might be a reason that you're saying it, but it's much better idea if you were to say things that that are positive, that made you feel better, that reinforced the positivity in your life. One of the things I think I've touched on a couple times over the last few nights is that the idea is to get yourself feeling cool about yourself. And the cooler that you feel about yourself, the cooler other people are going to feel about you. It's self-reinforcing loop. Like each time that you get better, and then they treat you better, and then you feel better, and then they treat you better, and you feel better. You see how this goes. It's not like rocket science. And so the very first idea is to practice the positive self-talk instead of negative thoughts. Consciously tell yourself positive things. One of the things that I've been doing lately is thanking myself for, not getting into situations. It's like, okay, well, thanks for avoiding that. That was great. So instead of having a situation where I would feel bad about myself or bad about the situation, I can sit there and flip that. It's like, oh, wow, well, thanks for handling that, so I didn't have to. Thank my past self or whatever for caring for me. And that's just, this isn't going to be a course or class on positive self-talk. I've got a lot that I could probably say about it, but the idea is just reframe the things that you're putting in, that you're, well, actually, that's something we'll talk about later here, that you're putting in your mind, but things that are going through your mind too. Like you actually, that was something I was actually thinking about. This is an aside. So we'll get to point number 2 here in a moment. But in my study of like Eastern philosophy, and that I've studied the I Ching and the Tao Te Ching, and some of the other texts, and some of the other studies and such, and a little bit of Buddhism and those kind of things. But they're always talking about about meditation. And first of all, I really don't care for the idea of meditation. Like, I don't like to have to sit there and like try to do it or whatever. But at one point, I came across a explanation of a way that you can meditate that is just so simple, and it just actually has turned out to be like the easiest and best way that I've found to try to meditate or whatever it is. It is very, very simple. And the idea is just that you just sit in a quiet room, like maybe in a chair or whatever, with your back straight, or, your hands in your lap, and you just relax. You just close your eyes and you breathe in and out, gently, like just, like you just do your existing. And while you're sitting there, thoughts are going to be running through your head. Like, it's just the nature of, the monkey mind or whatever. It's like there's always these thoughts that are going through your mind, and they're racing around. Sometimes that's part of the reason why you're so confused. But at this point, so now you've got all of these different things going through your head. And so, like, if you can imagine yourself just pulling back from that. So you've pulled back to the point where you can watch these thoughts go through your head. You don't like apply any meaning to them, or you don't think about whether it's a good thing or it's a bad thing or it's a thing, period. You just recognize it. So for instance, from this side, you've got this thought coming through about the cute girl that you saw this morning, uh, who was making sure that you were looking at her. And as much as you tried to not look at her, she kept finding her way into your line of sight. And it was really frustrating, right? So that's one thought going this way. And the other thought is the thought that, oh man, I got to pick up some stuff from the grocery. And from over here, it's like, yeah, there was that TV show I watched the other day. And like, here's that song that you just heard that's playing in your mind. It's like all these things are going through your mind, and you're not trying to stop them. They're not trying to be like quiet and still and everything. You're just watching everything float by. So sort of think of yourself as like a goldfish in a bowl or something, and you're just like watching. And that's one way that you can think about positive talk. Like, so it's not even a situation where you've got to think positively. It's just like, if you do have a negative thought come into your mind, like, you don't have to grab it. There was a old Henry Rollins spoken word bit that he used to do about, that somebody could try to hand you dog crap, but you don't have to take it. It's like, okay, well, something pops into your mind, and maybe it's harmful or um, uncomfortable or whatever. It's like you don't have to like attach any value to that thought. You just let it go. You just watch it as it moves on down the pike or whatever. And it's the same. I mean, you actually want to keep your ego in control. So if you sit there and you talk to yourself about positive positive self-talk, and then you can get a really big ego, and that's a totally different thing to have to handle. It's like wait until you start feeling like really good about yourself, and then like having to deal with the ego issues of like how awesome you are, and how awesome it must be for other people to have you around. And man, that's some interesting stuff to deal with. Okay, anyway, so let's get back to my list, because this is a long list, and we're already 15 minutes in. But thanks for watching. Like I said, subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so you can watch these live streams live. Um, And hopefully you can chat. One of the things I've been doing here the last couple nights is just talking and talking and talking, trying to get better at speaking to a camera, but also to give YouTube an understanding of what the Easy Path Project is all about. And so, yeah, so thanks for coming. And so let's get on with this so you get some value. Okay, so we talked about positive self-talk. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be positive. It's just like, don't speak to yourself negatively. Just always be cutting yourself some slack. It's like, it's not really that bad that you got to hammer on yourself about it. And like I mentioned last night, this will be the first and last time I'll mention this, but I've included the other benefits. So these are the exponential growth that you'll experience. So for instance, once you start doing positive self-talk, you'll increase your confidence and improve your mindset. And that'll give you strength to go about your day being the man you want to be, the man you are, and you just haven't allowed yourself to be that yet, or you're not completely there yet, and we'll get there. Okay, so next, focus on your strengths. Okay, so what I've written about this, it's acknowledge what you are good at. Some people are funny. Some people are good at math. Some people are good at sports or whatever. And so you kind of, you hang on to that one thing and you make the most of it. I was talking to a guy the other day. There was an old band back when I was a kid called Taco, and they put out a song called Putting on the Ritz. And I'm not a kid anymore. And Taco is still out there performing, putting on the Ritz, and made an entire career out of it. And it's like, they weren't like the best band in the world, but they were the band that had that song and took it out and took it to people. And so that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, you've got the thing that you're good at. Really make the most of that, like knock it out of the park. Okay, so set small, achievable daily goals. And this can really be anything. I mean, it's like, there's a lot of room in all of this to make it your own. So just find things that maybe you haven't been able to accomplish in the past. Figure out small little steps that you can take. I mean, that's what we're doing here to improve your inner game. Take these small steps, and each day as you work through them, it will help you increase your confidence and foster a growth mindset. You can find a way into personal growth through something like this. That's like, for instance, I mentioned in one of the first couple of videos that I used to help older guys. One gentleman who, due to a fairly religious upbringing, he wasn't the most comfortable person talking to women. I mean, he had more or less been told to stay away and stuff. And so it wasn't just a situation that he was like, up against, I can't talk to women because I'm afraid of them or whatever. He wasn't afraid or anything at all. It was just a situation that had been ingrained into him at a very young age, that, that women were to be kept separate and to be approached in a certain way and everything. And so once he decided that he wanted a relationship, and we started with the very, very simple things, like, just like looking at somebody across a park and smiling, like nothing more, nothing less. he was in a place far from his home, and so it wasn't a situation where he would have to deal with it. There wouldn't be any repercussions if he smiled at a girl and she didn't smile back. He'd smile at the next one. And so it was just a very tiny, tiny little goal. And so we worked our way up from there. And it's like each time that we made a new little task, he just did that. And at the end of our work together, he was getting really good results. And, we had just eased into the situation. It wasn't that he had to do anything difficult. He just set small daily goals and did those things, and then felt better for having done it, and went on the next day and was able to accomplish more. This is one thing that I've come up against here fairly recently, is that sometimes I'm a news junkie, and most of the news is crap, and most of the media writes their stories to keep you agitated and keep you mad and keep you off balance. I think that the media actually is doing us a disservice. And but I find myself, wanting to keep up with the current events or whatever, but then I get grouchy at it, and it starts to affect the way that I see things, or the way that I act, or that I speak, or it's not positive, and it's like, not that there's nothing that I'm going to learn, or that is going to be conveyed to me that's going to be helpful to my life in any way. And something that happens in Europe or China or wherever, or space, I mean, who cares? I'm here where I am. And all that other stuff is just, it's bad news. And it's not just news. Like, that's my particular specific instance that I've come up across recently. But say, for instance, negative people or negative situations, once again, if you were, had approach anxiety or whatever, and so you just sit there and hammer on approaching, and then you're getting bad results. Well, those bad results are reinforcing the negativity that's causing you to have problems with approach anxiety. And so you just avoid those things. Like, so referring back to the point just a moment ago, focus on your strengths and focus on the positive, and you limit your exposure to the negative. Okay, so what do you think? Do these ideas make any sense? What is your experience as far as being able to limit your negative thoughts, or to direct your negative thoughts, or to focus on your strengths, or to, there's a lot of different of aspects to this that you can, like I said, you can pick up and just really start to apply it, like in a moment's notice or whatever, and get really great results. And so tell me first of all, what you think. Second of all, what you're doing. Third of all, what your results are. And fourth, what you're going to do next, or how you think it's going to affect you, how you're going to grow from this. The second part of this slide is, if you know someone who will find this information helpful, please share this video. This is a live stream, but I will be adding it to the playlist so they can watch the live stream. But tell your buddy, if your buddy needs to know this stuff, hook him up with the link, and you guys can grow together. We can all three grow together. Part of this is a growth opportunity for me. It most definitely, like I said, I think that once we start cranking out some live streams with some participation from the people in the audience, and some guys, talking to me and telling me how things are going, and I can give you my live reactions and start a chemical reaction. Yeah, it's amazing to think where this is going to head. Like I said, we're only 3 days into it, and it's going to be fun. Okay, so this is another one that I've heard this talked about lots. Sometimes things can seem tough and like you can really get in a bad mood. Like if you've ever been in a situation where you had I mean, there's really, really bad things like the loss of a family member or something like that. But I'm talking about like a step below that. So it's like a perspective sort of thing. It's like, okay, well, maybe you got in a fight with a girl, or your teacher gave you a bad grade, or you made a mistake um, at work or whatever. There's a million little things that could cause you to be in a foul mood. And sometimes it's easy to overlook the fact that even though like some things that you consider to be pretty important have occurred to you, it's like there's like a bajillion other things that have happened that are like totally in your favor, like that have happened for you perfectly for the day. And it's like, and you don't recognize them sometimes because you take them for granted, or you just don't take the time to understand what's happening. And so you let the bad sort of overshadow the good. But it's like we were talking about positive self-talk earlier. It's like once you understand that, that one thing did go bad that day, but a whole bunch of really good things happened for you that day. So, on the whole, it was a good day. It's like, and sometimes it helps to just take a moment and think. It's like, even though I'm feeling kind of grouchy right now because, my sports team lost a match, or a goal was scored that put you out of the cup or whatever. It's like you can think about the sun coming up, or the flowers, or the blooms on the trees, or the your favorite song played on the radio on the way into work or whatever. It's like just little stuff like that. Just take a moment to think how cool that is. And once you start focusing, this is another point that we'll discuss later, but it's like once you start looking at the world through a lens that where you're looking for the good, where you're trying to accentuate the good in your mind, it's like you'll start to see more. The more good you look for, the more good you'll see. And once again, just like every single thing else that I talk about with the Easy Path Project, is like there is exponential growth. It builds on itself and just gets better and better just by its very nature. Okay, engage in a relaxing hobby. This doesn't mean to play a video game or to scroll the internet or social media or doing whatever. It's more like kind of detach from those things and do something. Maybe it's like reading, or maybe it's putting together a model, or maybe it's collecting stamps, or painting furniture or whatever. There's like a bajillion things. That's my favorite word tonight, is bajillion. But there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do that will just allow you to pull away from your common daily life and sort of just step aside to where you're with yourself and just, relax and decompress. And you don't have to worry about all the stuff that you have to worry about when you're in other situations, it's like, this is the time for you to enjoy being with you and doing a thing that you enjoy. Get enough sleep. I actually made a note about this. I've been doing a lot of research on sleep the last several months, and my sleep is getting really good. One of the things that I actually did was I started taping my mouth, and then also I got a like a headgear, to hold my mouth shut when I sleep. And I find that I sleep much deeper, and I find that it's much less restless sleep. And the really big benefit is that my dreams sometimes are much more vivid. Like, there was a period of time where I had almost stopped dreaming, and I really missed it. And I would hear people talk about dreams and stuff. It's like, man, I wish I could get back there. Well, I'm getting back there, and it's absolutely awesome. And so sometimes I'll even take a nap just so I can have some more dreams. I mean, it's really quite pleasant. But what I wrote here was that when you're well rested, it actually has like physical properties, or that your body, when you're lacking sleep, I believe it causes cortisol to increase, and your brain functions differently, and you can't enter certain parts of your of the way that your brain works. I mean, you can tell that I took really good notes about this. The idea behind pretty much all of my learning is not necessarily to memorize a whole bunch of facts. It's like to get to a point where what I want to get done gets done, and I can just move on. So it's actually quite funny. I'll sit there and do a super deep dive. Like I mentioned, I've got the 32 or 34 page report that I've put together for some inner game stuff, and when it relates to your lens, your current lens. And it's like, okay, well, I'll have an absolutely fantastic idea of what this is, but then once I've got the idea, I'll just let all that stuff go, and I'll just hang on to the idea. My brother often says a quote by Alan Watts was something to the effect of like, once you got the message, you can put down the phone. So that's the idea. It's like, just get the message and move on. But get some sleep. Like I said, if you take a little bit of time and effort to study how to sleep well, and then get your sleeping area set up properly to where you feel comfortable and well rested, like and your sleep improves. You'll find that you start to feel better. And as I mentioned here, it improves your mindset. And I'll actually have to work on how it helps your mindset. Yeah, I didn't write any more notes, except for that better emotional resilience. Yeah, I'll get to a sleep discussion at some point. I think that we need to talk about that, but that's very important. Okay, also talking about physiology and whatnot is hydrate regularly. Like, drink a lot of water. If you don't drink a lot of water, in fact, that gives me an opportunity right now. But you become dehydrated. It's actually easier. Like, I would say that probably most people are dehydrated most of the time. I don't think that we drink enough water. And it can affect your mood. It can affect your energy level. your body chemistry, all sorts of things. So drink some water. I think that it's, it's like an old wives' tale or whatever. I don't think there's any legitimate reason to drink like 64 ounces of water or whatever a day. I think that's overkill. I don't think your body is designed to drink that much water and to process that much water. But I definitely think that you need to drink enough to where your body is healthy and hydrated. Okay. Next, spend a few minutes in nature. I touched on it a moment ago, where I was talking about how when you do your relaxing hobby, turn off the TV, turn off the PlayStation, turn off your phone, kind of detach yourself from the digital chains or whatever. And if you can, get outside, look at a tree, take off your shoes and walk through the grass. There's a lot to be said about, humans are part of nature, and, houses are natural in a sense, but like nature where we come from is like the woods or the fields or the grasslands or the savanna or whatever. And so when you keep yourself apart from that in the modern lifestyle, you really are causing issues where you're disrupting like your humanity. So if you get an opportunity to where you can go out and reestablish yourself and maybe relax and just take some deep breaths out at the park or at the marina or at the playground or whatever. Just get out and enjoy some sunshine and some fresh air. You'll feel a lot better. And finally, listen to some uplifting music or podcasts. When I was younger, when I was a moody teen, I used to listen to moody teen music, and it just reinforced my my teen angst or whatever. I would listen to punk or whatever, just like rah. And that's cool. In fact, I'll still listen to punk at times to really get my energy up. But if you're feeling kind of grouchy about your station in life or your situation, don't listen to things that will either keep you in that place or dig you deeper. A lot of modern music, I guess, at times, it's like the old man shaking a stick yelling at the clouds or whatever it's like. But a lot of the current music is demotivational. I'm going to be using that word again here before long, because I've actually got another lesson about things that you should avoid and the things that you should embrace to kind of keep your head on straight. But yeah, these if you listen to lyrics to music or listen to podcasts that are not talking about positive and uplifting things, you can't expect to feel positive and uplifted. And so, at one point you really have to decide. It's like, okay, well, am I serious about wanting to feel better, or am I just going to keep going the way that things have been going? And if you can decide to kind of drop the demotivational things, the crummy music or the crummy videos or the crap that you stick in your head from social media or whatever, if you can just drop all that stuff to the side, and it's like it won't be affecting you, it won't be injecting its grossness into your brain. I don't know how to explain that any better, but I mean, I hope that idea is graphic enough. It's like it is poisoning you from the inside. It's like, and I'm not talking about go listen to classical or anything pretentious or whatever. But it might be a situation where, if you listen to, whatever they call it, gangster rap or everything, with some of the messages, most of the messages that I hear from modern rap is pretty crappy. And so I would say that you'd probably be much better off if you were just to drop that. And heck, you can even listen to, beats. There's all kinds of beats and stuff on Spotify or on YouTube or wherever, and so you can still hear the cool beats and the drum and the bass and the whatnot, and all the things that the kids like nowadays. It's like, but you don't have to listen to the stupid lyrics. I mean, I've heard some amazing things said by rap artists and stuff, but it hasn't been for about 20 years now or more. So if you do want to listen to rap, maybe go back and listen to stuff from the 70s or 80s or 90s or whatever, when they still had a fairly positive message. Because I mean, that's really what we're talking about here, is like the focus is on positivity and growth. And if you're allowing negativity and demotivational things in, you're just pushing yourself backwards. And it's like, how do you ever expect to make any progress if you're literally like chaining yourself to the crap? It's kind of funny. I'll have to listen to this again to see like just how crotchety and old manish I sound. But yeah, like Public Enemy, awesome. KRS-One, awesome. De La Soul. There's a million old hip hop groups and stuff that you need to find that stuff and enjoy it instead. Okay, so let's see. I think about a couple more things to talk about here real quick before we wrap it up. Hey, that's right. I've got a slide that says before we wrap up. Okay. So are you getting value from this video? Because if you're not watching it now, hopefully you're watching it on the live stream playlist I mentioned earlier. But if you're getting value from this video, please leave a like and make sure to comment. Like I mentioned in the last couple of videos and in this one as well. Like, I really would like this to become a community where we can share ideas, and this isn't a situation where I'm just going to be telling you stuff all the time. I mean, I'm telling you stuff right now because of the fact that there's very few people or no people at times watching, but also it gives me an opportunity to teach YouTube what this channel is about and what we're going to be talking about here. And so in the meantime, I'll keep bringing up these lessons and talking about things. But at some point, I'm hoping that you'll be leaving comments, and then I'll be able to interact with you, and we can talk about what it is that's on your mind and what you're doing to make things better. Also, like I mentioned, since this is a live stream, if you can subscribe and also click the notification bell, because I still haven't figured out how to set up the notifications or to schedule the videos or the live streams in advance or anything like that. And so it's a situation where when I decide to go live, I click the button and go live. And so if you've got the notification set, it'll let you know. And so you can pop in and say hi. Let's see what's next. Oh, okay. So let's wrap it up. So by cultivating a strong sense of your self-worth, your confidence, and mental resilience, it doesn't require like arduous effort. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's little itty bitty things like we've discussed tonight, applied consistently and made into like a habit. So each time, each day, you like, okay, today I'm going to take some time to relax and do my hobby. And tomorrow I'm going to take some time and relax and do my hobby. Just build these into habits and let them grow. Let them start to make the changes in your body and in your mind, and in your spirit, in your soul. Like I said, this is going to be a situation where you blow your mind with how easy it is and what kind of results you get from the efforts that you make. I bet I have one more slide after this, maybe two. Oh yeah, so that's what to look forward to next is Easy Inner Game Wins Part 2. So I've got another 10 items here that you can apply and really start to see benefits forthcoming pretty quickly, and with, like I said, not much effort. So we're not lazy, we're just efficient, right? We just want to make sure that we do this with the least amount of effort or pressure. Just easy, easy, easy. Okay, and last but not least, I mentioned it earlier, but we have the live streams each weeknight. Hopefully it's going to happen around 7:30 p.m. Central. Sometimes, like tonight, it'll be a little bit later, but other nights it'll be maybe a little bit earlier, and so you'll get some like bonus. Anyway, and if you don't get a chance to watch, definitely make sure to check out the replay in the live stream. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up for the night, but thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you got something from this. Like I said, just pick some of these ideas, apply them just in the most gentle, easy way. Like I said, or don't. I mean, don't beat yourself up over it. At a certain point, these things are just going to start happening because why not, right? It's like, okay, well, if I've got this opportunity to feel better about who I am and how I present myself to the world and how that will help the rest of the world as they see me, and how that becomes reinforcing, you'll find that you'll be kind of down on yourself if you don't. Anyway, so that's really the idea. Anyway, so once again, thanks for joining me tonight, and give these a shot. And yeah, so we'll be here tomorrow night about 7:30 or so. So we'll see you then. Take it easy.